Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I welcome you all back to our series Blooming in a Narcissist Garden. This is lecture 2, and this is Sayyida Al Salaam, your certified Muslim Aslan counselor with you from Qalaq Al Nafsi. And in our last two lectures, the introduction and lecture 1, we were talking about what narcissist person looks like in a relationship and the different kind of narcissist. Today we'll be talking about manipulative tactics and what manipulative tactics look like how do they manipulate you and what does it look like in relationships and in your life. So when I began my counseling practice, I often found myself grappling with with the difficult and harmful behavior employed by narcissists. How could such manipulation coexist with Islamic principles of dignity, empathy, and care that we are called to embody? I mean, when these kind of manipulative tactics are happening among Muslims and Muslim nation, our ummah, and for me, it's just uh, very confusing. Like, how could you do that? My question was like, how could you do it? Aren't you a Muslim? Aren't you supposed to be like following principles of dignity, empathy, and care? These questions stayed in my mind, but over time, my work with clients illuminated the subtle, pervasive nature of these tactics. Narcissism is not a new phenomenon. Yet its manifestations in modern relationships are becoming increasingly difficult to recognize. These behavior frequently emerge in very different ways, leaving us disoriented and wounded. Before we explore strategies to confront such behaviors, it is essential to first understand them. The first one is gaslighting. Have you ever doubted your own memory or questioned your judgment because of someone else's persistent denial? I know, but gaslighting is very popular phrase, and people, usually um, tend to Google it out and see what gaslighting means. Gaslighting is a term rooted in 1938 play Gaslight, in one of the most harmful forms of psychological manipulation. It occurs when someone systematically undermines another's perception of reality, leaving the victim questioning their own experiences. For Muslims, this manipulation can feel even more complex, as cultural and religious beliefs might be used to invalidate their feelings. A gaslighter might twist the truth, deny clear evidence, or even weaponize religious expectations. Denying events or conversations, even with proof, tends to undermine your emotions, calling you too sensitive or dramatic, shifting blame onto you, making you feel responsible for their actions, using religious principles to silence or invalidate your feelings, and isolating you from supportive networks are signs of gaslighting. These tactics chip away at your confidence, leaving you uncertain about your memories and anxious about your decisions. Over time, the emotional toll can become overwhelming. But here's the truth: your worth is not defined. I repeat myself. Your worth is not defined by anyone's manipulation. Islam reminds us of our importance before Allah. No human can diminish your dignity or your connection with Him. So your true value lies with Allah. No human can diminish that. The next one I'm going to talk about is shaming and guilt tripping. These are also tools of control. Why do small offhand comments sometimes leave such lasting wounds? Shaming is a covert yet deeply damaging tactic. It thrives on subtle put downs, comments disguised as jokes or concern. Over time, these erode self confidence, leaving the victim dependent on narcissist approval. Uh, a person must have bought a new dress and she's all very happy about it, and then she shows it to her husband and he goes, oh my god, you look so fat in that, how did they let you buy it? Come on, I was just joking, I was joking, I think you look nice. And then he gives that joking smile again, and then you just brush up, and then you go back. Once he leaves the room, you'll stand and look into the mirror and think, do I really look bad? Do I look fat? Do I do do I look ugly? It comes down to that. Similarly, guilt tripping manipulates your sense of responsibility. Narcissists shift accountability away from themselves, making you feel at fault. This can leave you questioning your boundaries and suppressing your emotions. Like, for example, a husband starts screaming at you and shouting at you, and then later he calms down and he says, you know what, if you had not to make me mad, if you had to cook properly, if you knew how to take care of the kids or the house, I wouldn't be so angry all the time. I wouldn't be shouting at you. You know, I'm a nice person. I like to enjoy my family life. I like to enjoy everything. But you make me so angry that I had to shout and scream. You make me this monster person that I am. Are there moments when you doubt your self worth due to someone else's criticism or blame? Acknowledge these feelings and remind yourself that your value is rooted in your creator, not anyone else. The next, so far we have learned about guilt tripping, shaming, and gaslighting. So we're going to move on to projection and minimization. Projection occurs when a narcissist accuses you of their own flaws or insecurities. For example, they may label you as insecure while refusing to acknowledge their own hypersensitivity, sensitive, being sensitive to criticism. So it can be like, your mom-in-law might say that, oh my God, you're so insecure or something like that. And then you know that she's the person who's more insecure than you. So whatever flaws that they have, they tend to project it on you if they are not good at financial decisions and you make a mistake, for example. And then they start off by like, oh my God, I should never give the finances part to you. You don't know how to handle it, da, da, da. And you're like, what? That's projection, when they project their flaws on you. Minimization, on the other hand, involves downplaying your emotions or achievements by invalidating your experiences. Narcissists maintain control and make you question your reality. Say you got a prize, you might have won a teacher's award, and you're very happy about that because you put in a lot of effort and then you got this teacher's award, and they tend to minimize it. They say, oh, you know what, they give it out every year. They just want to make sure that everybody in the school is happy and they just want to give it out to everybody. You should work in a corporate and then you would know how hard it is. You don't tend to get these kind of acknowledgements. uh, you should just be happy, that they're just they gave it out to you for free and you didn't even have to work as much for it. And you'll be like fuming, what do you mean, I worked so hard, they chose me, there was a panel and everything. But he or she tends to minimize your achievements and even downplay your emotions. Oh, come on, don't be so dramatic, I didn't say it this way, I didn't say it that way. You just like to dramatize everything, just be, you're such a drama queen. That's minimization. Moving on, there is love bombing and future faking. Narcissists often deploy an overwhelming charm offensive known as love bombing to win your trust. This act can include grand promises and excessive attention. However, once trust is secured, their true intention come to light. They tend to love bomb you with praises. Oh my God, you're so pretty, you're so beautiful. I'm so lucky to have you. I can't imagine my life without you. Or with gifts, expensive gifts, and they tend to win your they tend to win you over, so that win your trust. So once they have that, then they start to control you. Then there's future faking. That's another deceptive strategy where narcissists make grand promises about shared goals they have no intentions of fulfilling. This preys on your hope and emotional investment. They say that we want. one day we're going to have this big house, we'll have a lot of children, we're going to have a lot of fun, a good life, and blah. And but at the same time, they don't, in their mind, they don't tend to intend to do any of that. All they want is just, maybe get married to you, maybe not get married to you, just take you for a ride and then leave you. The other one is silent treatment. The silent treatment is more than just ignoring someone. It is a calculated tactic to inflict pain and maintain control. By refusing communication, narcissists create an environment where you feel invisible and desperate for their approval. So they tend to just cut off all kind of communication. I had clients who would go on like, he has not been talking to me for 10 days or 15 days. The whole house feels like a library. I'm not used to this. I always had parents, my siblings, and it would be a beautiful house filled with laughter and talks. And now yeah, it feels so gloomy, and I feel suffocated. So it's a tactic. You need to recognize it's a tactic to gain control again, to make you come begging to them and say sorry to them. Sorry, you know what? Whatever it is, I'm sorry. Let's forget about it. Let's make up. And then there's flying monkeys. Narcissists often recruit others, sometimes unknowingly, to amplify the manipulation. These flying monkeys can spread gossip, deliver messages, or undermine your support system, leaving you feel isolated. Um, I had a client in Australia. She said that her mother-in-law would recruit the father-in-law, and he would, like, no matter how well she would cook, and he would be like, "No, not good enough." And or the sister-in-law would come over and say, "You know what? The other day my mom was saying that you did this and this, or you said this and this about me. I don't appreciate it. How dare you do that?" and stuff like that. And she'd be like, "No, no, I didn't mean it that way. I didn't say it." Or what do you mean? So or the son would, husband would come and say, my mom was not happy with the guest you invited over. You should not have, that made my mom feel uncomfortable. Maybe you should speak to her about the guest list before you invite anybody home. So these are all flying monkeys, where she or he does not talk directly to you as to what is bothering them, but they tend to recruit flying monkeys. The word flying monkeys, I'm sure you must have all read this story. And with the Wizard and the Oz, where they tend to recruit flying monkeys to do work for them. So that it's the same way. So we have come across all of these manipulation tactics, like right from gaslighting, shaming, guilt tripping, projection and minimization, love bombing, future faking, silent treatment, and flying monkeys. Now, what do you do? I need you to continue listening to these lectures. You must reclaim your power. Awareness is your first way of empowerment. By recognizing these tactics, you begin to dismantle their hold over you. Islam offers a profound source of strength, as Allah reminds us that surely with hardship comes ease. Inna ma'al usri yusra. Inna ma'al usri yusra. So, having learned about narcissists, who they are, having learned about their manipulation, what is our next step to reclaim our power? All right. So, inshallah, in our next lecture, we move more towards that, how to reclaim our power. For now, I hope this knowledge has benefited you. I meet you in my next lecture. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.